This meeting of the planning board is called to order. We have 3 items on the agenda tonight. We have public hearings on 2 applications, Patch and Poulin. And the 3rd application is one that we're going to be examining for completeness, and that's the Dumaine application for the riding arena. Let's see. Oh, Henry's missing. So Dana, you'll be a voting member tonight. Henry is missing, and for those of you that might not be aware of this, John is a full member at this point of the planning board because Bill's resignation was accepted by the select board, and John has been made a full member as the ranking alternate. He moves into the full member stuff. So, welcome in that capacity.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good job, John.
Right.
So first on the agenda, Mr. Hatch, and we have an application in front of us for the addition to his business of used car sales. And tonight, we're going to hold a public hearing on the application. I don't know if there will be members of the public who might want to ask questions or provide comment, but if there are, then we will ask them for that. But it would be helpful in case anyone in particular is joining us, if you could give another brief. Thank you. If you could summarize again, just briefly for us, what your proposal is and what you plan to do with your business.
Okay. All right, I'm Zachary Hatch with Hatch Auto Repair. I have a repair facility at 846 Green Street, Readfield. I am looking for permission to add on to my repair facility a used car sales lot so that I can help the community in finding reliable used vehicles. Too often I see customers bring a vehicle to me that they have either had for a short period of time or have just purchased and looking to get a sticker that do not meet state requirements and will never meet state requirements due to either rust or severe negligence. They have just bought the car and have paid big money for a car that's junk, basically. So I see that far too often, and every time I do, the customers ask if I sell vehicles because they would prefer to buy one from you where they trust me and not provide me that service. So trying to accommodate needs of the customer base I have.
Okay, so we have a diagram here. You want to talk about that for a minute?
So I handed out 2 diagrams. One is the previous diagram I have given everybody in weeks past, whether it be the first meetings we dealt with becoming a repair facility, and then again, when we did the completion hearing. So I drew a bigger picture that kind of goes with it so that you can see the area we're talking about for tonight's meeting. So if you go right straight from my house out to my mailbox, it's 90 feet, and then over the fence line, to the end of the fence line is 140 feet. I do not plan on filling that area, but it's all passable area that meets the state requirements for a used car lot so that you can traverse it or pass on it year round because it's solid enough. So I put up a fence this weekend to help shield some of the visibility. I know some of the concerns are seeing too many vehicles. So I put up a small fence to help shield some of that. And then there's also tree coverage over there to help shield it as well. So I would like to go to put a few vehicles between the trees and my mailbox with, obviously there's certain setbacks you have to follow from the road and whatever, but.
So
So basically where it says used car lot on that somewhere in that neighborhood would be where the cars would be parked to be visible from the road, whether, so that you can see them from either direction.
And that's currently like your front lawn, is
Yeah,
that correct?
correct.
That area.
So it's in front of the house, the driveway would be the Manchester side of 17, the trees, this side of 17, I guess.
So theoretically, you could put like 100 cars there.
Theoretically, I could, but I do not want to see 100 cars out front of my house. That's, plus you also need to be able to, by state requirements, you have to actually be able to drive in and get around the vehicles that I have on display. You can't have it cluttered up to the point that you can't get in and around. So you have to be able to plow, you have to be able to drive, you have to be able to get there.
So how many cars do you think you'd want there?
I would like to be able to see around 5 cars out front at any given time, so that there's a small variety of vehicles for customers to build a check. I mean, it's hard to say, because I don't have deep pockets like Charlie's or any of them dealerships, so I don't plan on having hundreds of cars for sale, because if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be doing this job to start with.
So the driveway, that's the existing driveway, and to the left of it is where you have cars that you're repairing or.
So if you, yes, if you're standing in the driveway looking towards the repair facility, the vehicles parked on the left are customer-based vehicles. Looking to the right is where I'm proposing to put the used car lot.
But the used car lot wouldn't face the cars wouldn't be, or would they be parked looking at the other cars that are there for repair? Across the
No,
road?
I would actually have them facing the roadway so that it hopefully signifies that they're actually on display for customers to buy versus the cars that are parked lengthwise with my driveway in like a parking lot fashion. I don't really know how to describe it.
Differentiate the two.
Right, so all the cars parked perpendicular with the driveway on the Manchester side are customer-based vehicles. The lawn would be used car lot, and I would have them facing the road, because typically any used car lot always has vehicles facing the road or so that they can be seen, because you usually have your tag in the window or something of that nature, which signifies the sale.
The ones for sale usually have a sticker on it.
Yeah.
Something.
Right, either writing or a sticker or then flashy signs that hang off the mirror or,
No. Slashy.
well, you know, just a thing, I don't want banners off outside.
We're not putting lights in them.
Strobe lights and party signs.
So everything is the same, basically, what we had talked about when you were here, the first time for vehicles out in the back. Those, as I recall, you had a few that you used for parts.
There's 2 out back for parts, and there's one, like Brandon described, it's a dumpster. It fills up and it disappears, and then when another junk vehicle gets condemned and I end up buying it off the customer, I fill that up with junk and it disappears. I don't keep junk vehicles on hand for any length of time, because I don't like looking at them either. Even though I like vehicles, I do not like looking at junk.
So if what you want is to display 5 cars or so in front, do you need 140 feet for that?
I don't need it, but I need a minimum of 5,000 square feet to appease the state mandate. That entire lot that I proposed, which I still plan on leaving lawn and not, I should go have a lawn out there too, but that area is 12,000 square feet, the whole area, which it's not gonna be used as a whole car lot, but it gives ample turning around. It can keep people looking at the used car lot away from the customer vehicles, because they can pull in and park. Some people don't know how to park, they don't know how to, they'll park right crooked and just get out of the car and walk around. So if they have plenty of room over there to park, look at vehicles, if someone else wanted to pull in, there's still room for them to pull in and around them. There's still plenty of places for people to be out of the way of traffic. whether it be 17 traffic or my customers and parts runners coming in and out of the driveway.
So you have that 5,000 square feet,
The minimum is 5,000 square feet, yes.
the used car dealer?
Yep. And it cannot be in conjunction with the existing driveway for traffic. So the driveway coming in and out of the business, you cannot utilize that space as part of your used car lot.
So that's a state minimum standard.
Correct.
And is that based on, is it like per car?
No.
You have to have so much per car?
No,
Or
it-
Just to get licensed.
just to be
It
licensed.
has to be at least 5,000 square feet,
Correct.
regardless of the number of cars.
Correct.
So you could have the square footage to be used for people to walk and drive around, but the display of cars could be in a smaller area.
Yes.
Yes.
The intent is not to use that full amount of space. It's just, this is just so you have an idea of how big that space is and that it does meet state requirements.
And also by asking for that allotted size there, if I choose to park them differently, I have more room to move them around or not stuck in that one little area like it's. I don't plan on filling it up with any more cars, it's just to be able to. If I want to play with how to display them to try to get people's attention differently or.
Now, besides cars, you often sell like tires, wheels,
No,
other stuff, boats, I've seen it there.
I've parked my personal boat that I've owned for 4 or 5 years out there several different times to try to get rid of it because I don't use it enough, but I do not sell boats, I do not sell. I've put tires out by the road for free for the taking that I have taken off customers' vehicles that are still good enough for state inspection standards, but. And Chip has told me to get rid of those, so I have loaded them all in the truck and hauled them right to the dump and got rid of them because I was told not to. So I was trying to help the community out by offering free tires and I gave up on that and hauled them to the dump. So now I do not put any tires out by the road. I just haul them to the dump. Not going in the bus. You told me not to, so I obeyed and did what I was told to do.
Very honest, yes.
I was a good boy.
For those who've been around this town a long time, there's a history about involving tires, we have to be sensitive.
Are you planning to pave it?
What's
Are
that?
you gonna pave it?
If I ever make enough money, I may try to,
Yeah.
but that, to pay just what I have now, decent ground would probably cost me $50,000 to $60,000 if I had to guess. Pavement would be absolutely wonderful because it'd keep my garage cleaner and the house cleaner and customer vehicles cleaner. So yes, it would be lovely to pave it. At this present time, no near sight future.
So you're just gonna park them on the grass and
Yeah, because it stays nice and high packed. Like maybe a week it gets a little bit muddy, but
yeah,
I can drive my lawn year round.
okay.
And all last winter, I kept half of it plowed because I was actually trying to keep the basement from getting wet, so, and it worked well, so.
So you said that, you intend to have maybe around 5 at a
Correct.
time
Yeah.
out there. Would it be problematic for you if that was part of your approval, that it was a
It would not
number?
be problematic.
And what is a number that you would be comfortable with?
5,
5? Okay. That's
You
easy.
might go a little high.
I would like to go higher, but if we're stuck on numbers, I mean, I will do my best to work with it and like, if I'm only allowed to have 5 on display for a while, like, I'll stick with that and like, if I have another car that ain't ready, that is ready, and it don't meet, like, I'll hide it where it can't be seen so that.
Well,
With
you know,
all
I,
of
I,
the-
I think the only issue here, my intent is not to say, okay, it's gonna be 4, 3,
Yeah.
5.
No,
But I think the, the only concern I've heard expressed is that, businesses with vehicles, I think everybody has had, either some experience or knowledge of, this proliferation of vehicles, and I'm not saying that you know, that's the case here, and that you would do that. But, in order to, you know, address that up front, so it's not a concern. I was thinking that a number might be might be helpful in that regard, or range,
I mean,
but you know, I would not advocate putting something in there that doesn't work for you. Let's put
I
it
mean,
that way.
I'd like to be able to have as many as I possibly could, but I don't have the means to have a vast majority. I don't have that means. I mean, I probably could put 8 out there at one time for a short period, but like, it's not gonna be constant. So if we could go 5 to 8 would be great, but whatever. I'm willing to work with you guys because
10 to 15 would fit comfortably though.
I agree.
You'd have enough room.
Yes, and not look terrible. Like, I don't plan on selling junk. I don't want anything unappealing out there. Like, I plan on putting nice stuff out there as reasonably priced as I can possibly find it. I don't want it to sit there for months and months. I want it to be stuff that turns over and it's always something different to see. So what do you feel is a comfortable number that, I guess let's ask you a question.
Jeff?
I've tried to do some coaching with the man here, and he's been very cooperative, does things well, everything else. My feeling with him was, you know, state what you're comfortable with, and he's always been 5 to 8. I said, be ready for 5, but maybe you get 8. And I told him, if this runs well for a year or so, and there's a need for having more out, always come back and amend it. So take it from there.
The state says that it can accommodate 22 for
Does,
5,000,
does.
18 by now, so, I mean, do we have the authority to overrule the state?
Yes, you do.
Okay,
Which department,
it's online.
which department,
What's that?
which department has to do it?
It's just, it's in the AI tool. We just-
I assume it's DMV.
But we don't have anything in that ordinance.
No, not that kind of limitation.
So where in the ordinance are we allowed to override the state? This is,
You're always allowed to override the state or federal if you're more restricted than that. And that goes with land use, that goes with shoreline, that goes with everything. Goes with our solar panels. Our solar standards are higher than most
yeah,
places.
but they're written in the land use ordinance. I mean, we're just making something up here.
You're not, you're dealing with a presentation, you're dealing with history and serving the town, so you have that option, that power, yes.
You know, I think part of the issue is that what the land use ordinance does is it takes all of these factors into account, including, you know, the zoning in Readfield. And, you know, one issue is that this is a mixed use zone. I mean, it's residential as well as business. And so part of our job is to look at the standard to make sure it's a reasonable fit.
No, I think 5 is reasonable, but. I mean, you have to go over it, like you got. Whatever you want to do,
I mean, I'm kind of at you guys' beck and call, or however you say it, because I mean, whatever we come to an agreement on is what I have to follow suit with too, so. I mean,
Why don't we say 5 to 10?
I would strongly suggest that you go with plan 5 to 8, just for the, again, the fact that if it works out well, you can always come back and ask for more. And there have been questions, and you know, Zach and I have been working hard to keep, you know, things looking good over there. He got rid of the tires. He's limited stuff when it's not supposed to be there. He's done really well working with it. So I think, you know, fencing it in right now, but, you know, reining it in right now, proves himself. And then maybe, you know, in a year, you can fit 8 or 10. He's gonna get rich, who knows? But
Peter, you have a comment?
I think we need to start with is a limit, and then in future conditions change, the limit could be adjusted. So I'd make a motion, but just for discussion purposes, to approve the application conditioned upon limiting the number of used carts at any one time to 8.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna put an outer limit on it, we don't need the range. we don't need to say 5 to 8.
I mean, that makes sense, that's kind of
It's
redundant.
8, but it's not 5 to 8, that's
Oh, wait a minute,
suggested.
I can't sell cars if I don't have 5 out there.
Exactly.
Does that number work for you?
I will make it work.
We're here with public hearing.
Yes, yes,
I mean, in today's market, 8 cars out there, that's $80,000 in it that I've had to spend out, because what do you get for a car under $10,000 right now? Nothing. So, for me to put 8 cars out there, I can't afford to put 8 out there right now. Down the road, hopefully, that'd be wonderful, but I think that is a very acceptable range at the moment.
so, I'm going to wait, on your motion, Peter, because I don't know if we have any members of the public that want to comment. Do we have anyone on Zoom? If there is anyone who would like to make a comment or ask a question, from the public, I'd be happy to entertain that at this point. You don't see anything?
No, that's just us.
Okay.
You wanna, put a sign up?
I have a sign hanging, it's just a banner that I had made up, it's on the front of my garage, that meets the standards by the state police at this time. It has to be visible from 200 feet.
It's on the building?
It's on the front of the garage. It's not really a sign, I mean, it is a sign, I guess, but it's not a sign. It falls under the criteria, I guess, of a sign, but it's not. It's just a banner hanging on the front of the garage saying what I am.
But are you asking for approval for a?
Not at this time, no.
And what
If-
about-
I mean, if we can add that in, I guess, when I can afford to have a sign made up, it would be nice to go see Chip, follow the guidelines that I have to have and put a nice sign out front.
Yeah.
I understand there's guidelines I have to follow and that's not an issue, so yes, it'd be nice to have a sign down the road when I can afford to have one built.
You have not, proposed putting up any sort of lighting
No,
for the used cars?
no, I don't feel as though many people are gonna be shopping at nighttime, so, and if they are shopping, I don't think they plan on buying anything, they're just shopping.
Okay.
So I don't need to help them with their visibility.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I would look for a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
motion and second discussion. All those in favor? And, okay, so Peter, back to you.
I would move to approve the pending application of Mr. Hatch to expand his business to include used car sales conditioned on a limitation of 8 used vehicles for sale at any one time on the premises. I mangled that, I know.
Subject to standard conditions. And that all sales take place out of the right of way.
Peter, do you want to add that to your motion?
Would they have to be, how could you sell it in the right of way?
It's redundant, but sometimes it's good to have redundancy.
I have no problem.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, further discussion. All those in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you
your
very
time.
much.
Thank you.
Our tax base.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
The door's fine, you're good.
Okay, second agenda item, Mr. Booler. So this application is for essentially the continuation of what's been an existing business on the property. Tree service and firewood, as I understand it. And, most of us went to the site visit previously, so we've got a good idea
Yeah.
of what your site is. If there is anyone who's joining us, it would be helpful if you could just give a very brief summary.
Okay,
again, of what
so
you're
I'm
proposing.
Andy Poulin from Poulin Tree. At, I think it's 18 Poulin Drive. My uncle currently owns the garage that they have owned since '80s. And, I'm just looking to purchase it from him, and I just want to make sure that, I can continue using it the same way it's been used, just with the change of ownership. We just pretty much just be the headquarters for the business where we park all the employees, it'll just be the employees and myself coming in and out. Customers, there's no customer traffic in and out, we don't sell anything from there, it's just where we park trucks and meet up in the morning and at night. Where we keep all our supplies in the garage and where we work on all our equipment, so. Pretty much all we're planning to do with it, so.
Any, questions? The one issue that we did talk about on site was, the
Might be there would be trees.
tree.
Yeah, right on the Poolin Drive side of that property. Yeah, yeah, just for the extension where the grass is there. Yeah, yeah, I can make that happen for sure.
And then you explained that you're gonna keep 2 acres,
Correct,
and the rest of the lot goes to your father.
uncle, the current owner of the property, correct.
So what we're approving would be for
2 acres
the 2 acre lot,
with the garage, correct.
right?
So, yeah, the parking area that we saw tonight is essentially what you see, is coming, with the garage itself. Anything from the road that goes up on top of the hill, from there to 41 he's keeping.
Is there a deed or anything at this point that splits off the lot?
No,
Or
no,
that
I
had
just
to
want-
happen?
No, not, yeah, we're gonna get it surveyed and,
Yeah,
that's all in the process, but obviously just wanna get this approved first.
so, I mean, any kind of a decision we make would have to be specific to to the property that it was going to be on.
Contingent on the split, pending of the property, the 2 acres that the business sits on.
And,
So that has to be done beforehand.
well, I don't think it would necessarily have to be done before we took action, but I think it's something that we would want to firm up once it did happen.
Okay,
Set a time limit and
Yeah, I think we, ask you to submit that, the
The
deed
updated.
or the plan or whatever the result of that transaction is.
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah, okay.
So you don't own it yet, right?
Correct,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, just my.
we're approving it for the lot, not for the individual, right?
You're gonna give it a contingency. It's being approved for the business as proposed on the 2 acres that will be split within whatever time frame you determine.
I mean, it might be a technicality, but should the property owner be the one that's requesting this?
No,
No.
not for business.
Oh, like the current property owner,
What's that?
the current property.
Yeah,
owner.
yeah, I just want to make sure we don't do something that could be.
There's a lot of businesses in this town where people are on that they don't own.
Okay, so you own the business?
I do,
You just don't own the property?
correct, I rent it for.
So what was in the application for TRI? Title regulations.
I don't know if it was laid out. I suggested laying out as but he did submit, when he submitted this, his uncle's affidavit saying that he was laying off the property for his business, and that's on file.
I think he authorized you to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Which he just couldn't make it tonight.
No.
He could
It's good.
Or-
Yeah, I know.
So.
You gotta push, can't push it along too much.
And so it sounds like our approval would be contingent upon getting the documentation back that the sale had occurred and that that 2-acre area has been legally defined in the deed or on plan or whatever the plan, you know, what you intend to do in that regard, and that would be submitted.
Cannot register deeds.
Okay.
He'll end up with their own deed.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I could just use the property the same way it has been used, just, with the change of ownership is all I'm worried about, so, I mean, if that's all you need to get it approved essentially, then that's
I think
easy.
you wanted to make sure that you were the owner, so you want the deed to protect your, you own the business, but.
Right,
Um,
right, I just don't wanna spend the money and then not be able to use it, essentially. That's kind of why.
You're currently leasing the property, you said, right?
Yeah.
But we can prove, just bring the deed in and put it in the file.
Right. Okay.
So is there anyone who had comments or questions? I don't think we
I
have.
have a
any.
question for you, Paula. It's undisputed, this is a permitted use in the rural residential zone?
Yes,
District, yes?
yeah.
And in fact, so it's clearly permitted, it may even be a grandfathered use under these circumstances, though we have a change of ownership now, so.
Yeah, and we had talked about that a little bit at the first meeting. You know, there was a question about whether it was necessary for him to come in because it was an existing business. And I think the answer to that was that, in part, it's to give you, an approval would give you the comfort that you feel like you'd like to have going forward.
Correct.
So I don't see any members of the public. Are there any other questions or comments from planning board members? Not, I would ask for a motion to close the hearing.
So move.
For a second,
Second.
discussion. All those in favor? And if there's nothing further, I'd look for a motion on the application.
I'll make a motion to approve the application subject to standard conditions, subject to the deed or the transfer of interest to the applicant of 2 acres plus or minus of the lot. And subject to this provision in Article 8, Section 13, B3, which requires that that there be planting and maintaining of natural screening or buffer through the siting of any such activities and structures to minimize such activities and structures for public view. So it's planting evergreen trees, kind of where you have scrub trees there.
Is there a particular height they have to be?
Not when you plant them.
Okay,
I guess we could say,
like as far as like a fence, instead of trees, like a fence. I'm just curious if it's like the height restriction, how high it has to be.
and the purpose is to block it from public view.
Okay, if I can make a suggestion, we did this with the solar farm, and your suggestion is 4 to 6. I would say 6 to 8. It's common.
Could be expensive.
They'll grow. We've got a little one.
Yeah,
Especially if they grow.
yeah,
Yeah.
we could say minimum of 3 foot high evergreens planted like 12 feet apart.
Yeah.
put it as Boston first.
Yeah, I'm just
For no
curious,
reason.
I'm just curious of how frequent is needed coming in, that's all.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion on the motion. All those in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And so, the next application is the domain application for the construction of a new indoor riding arena for their horse boarding business. And some of you may know this history, but it was rather complicated before it came to us. The ordinance requires generally that structures not be any higher than 35 feet. And the riding arena as proposed is 40 feet plus a little bit, as I recall. And so the domains went to the Board of Appeals to request a variance from the 35-foot requirement. And it's a more complicated story, but we don't need to get into it here. The outcome of that appeals board process was that it was discovered that there was a footnote in the land use ordinance that accepts agricultural structures from that 35-foot limit. So the 40-foot limit, the 40-foot proposal is acceptable because it is an agricultural structure. So what we need to look at is not that issue, but given the land use ordinance requirements, this particular proposal falls under the definition of intensive agriculture. And that requires site approval from the planning board. So it is an agricultural use, there's no question about that. And initially, I was quite concerned that we get the designation right, particularly since domains have gone through this appeals board process. And I didn't want them to get here and there be any question from anyone on the outside or otherwise about what this actually is. So I had some conversations with some old contacts at the Department of Agriculture and to ascertain that they would be in agreement that this kind of business, that they would view this as being agricultural, and they do. That's a long story too, but that was the bottom line. And so our ordinance defines agriculture, but it also says that agriculture could be intensive or light industry agriculture. And because this proposal is for a structure of more than 3,000 square feet, it's quite a lot more, 11 to 12 as I recall. It falls within the definition of intensive agriculture and simply requires site review by the planning board. So that really is the nature of what we're doing with this before us. And tonight, we're looking at this application and discussing it with the domains in terms of completeness. So if you would like to summarize for us what your proposal is and give us a little more information, that would be a good way to start our conversation tonight.
Our proposal is to build an indoor riding arena on our established horse boarding farm so that our clients have a safe place to exercise their horses all year round. In Maine, we have lots of rain and mud and ice and snow, which makes it dangerous to exercise horses outside, and they need lots of exercise every single day to stay healthy. So, the size of the building is 85 feet by 140. The plan is to put it in the upper right-hand corner of our property, which is back away from the road, school side of our property. Not sure what else you want to know.
I'd say it's gonna be a minimum of 250 to 300 feet setback from the road. Our back ridge, is just goes down into woods, and there's just woods behind us. The only true neighbor that we have that's even close to us would be the school. Everything else around where that area would be entirely
Ours.
and wood.
So do you own what used to be the Frisbee Golf?
Sure do.
Yes, yeah, we do.
Were you the people that approved?
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah, I remember you.
we do too.
Yeah.
We all remember.
How far away will the facility be from the school line?
We're setting it back, we're trying to set it back 40 feet from the side of where that, stone wall is.
Yeah, so it's sort of,
But it's also gonna
Diagonal.
sit more facing towards Kent's Hill, like it's gonna be more of it, so maybe like the back corner of it, we're trying to make
It'd
sure we
be
keep
about
40 feet, but
40
everything
feet
else is gonna
away.
be
way more than that.
right, more towards our property. The back ridge there's a lot of, dead and dying popple trees that we have to remove just along the back ridge, and we'll probably have to put in a little fill there depending on how the building sits. But other than that, we're just gonna use all the ground that's there, really, we'll just push the ground like we did with the riding arena that's outside. So,
How many horses are usually boarded there?
We currently have 15.
And will this hold up to the snow and ice?
yes,
It's
that's
designed that way.
that's the design, that's the reason why it's 40 feet.
Yeah, for snow load.
load. They
Yeah.
designed it specifically for
It's
whatever
made
area.
by ClearSpan. I included their information in here. They're a very well-known company for pre-building these structures.
Will be heated?
No,
It's just a metal structure that's gonna be
with
anchored
canvas cover.
into the concrete stanchions down the side and just a canvas cover.
And is it only for the horses that are boarded there?
Yes.
Well, we might have, what leaves me open to the ability to have clinics and have people teach, because at this point, we can't have anybody teaching at our farm. Because if it rains or snows or it's poor weather, you have to cancel, and clinicians won't book with you if you don't have
You don't have
an
any-
indoor arena. So we'll have the opportunity to have other people be able to bring their horses in and use our facility for classes and clinics.
The stables will be inside that.
No stables.
We don't have stables.
They live on a natural track.
Yeah, we have like the stables for what? As far as the horses?
Yeah.
The horses, our farm's already established. The horses have run-in sheds that they go in and out as they please. That's not
Okay.
changing. Those just remain as they are. This is just for using and riding inside, yeah.
So how many feet back from South Road will it be?
From South Road, it's,
I would say probably 250 feet on the backside of that field. Is probably be the front corner of that building. It might even be close to 300 feet. It's gonna sit all the way
it's pretty far
in the
back.
back. Of the property you can see, because our property drops, once you can't see anymore from South Road, from the road itself, our property drops off pretty significantly out the back. But we've got quite a field there that goes all the way across, and we're gonna utilize the back part of that.
Where do vehicles exit from structure? I mean, when they come out-
Vehicles don't come to the
When
structure.
they come out South Road, Is there a driveway right now?
We have a parking lot driveway that was created when we had the disc golf
Oh,
course.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with it.
And that is where people come and people park, and then people go in with their horse. They don't drive up to the indoor riding arena, they just walk their horse up there.
We also, for any extra storage, like if we were gonna have people show up with extra trailers or whatever, we did purchase a piece of land across the street on Pine Rest. We're having a garage put up right now, actually.
We have plenty of parking for
Plenty of
cars
parking.
and horse trailers and all of that on Pine Rest.
Steel marijuana grow.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
No, I believe my plan.
we did. We got rid of we donated the
We
greenhouses
donated
to
all the
Wonka.
buildings, so they were very happy.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna reuse them to grow.
So if you, I'm thinking about, potential traffic impacts. I mean, if you were to hold clinics and that sort of thing, how,
Much traffic.
yeah,
The size of this indoor arena is probably about, you could have 5 horses in it at once.
okay.
So it's not like
It's
a,
not, we couldn't have many more than that in that size space.
Other questions?
We talk about like 5 to 8 horses.
well, we're already way over that.
When you talk about clinics, but how many clinics a year would you aim for?
I think I'd like to have 3 or 4.
3 or 4 a year?
Yeah.
Seasonal
I
probably.
mean, there's not a lot of people that do clinics in the winter. I mean, it's mostly practicing, but occasionally, but we'd like to, bring some different types of activities and natural horsemanship and, different kinds of jumping or dressage or whatever, and be able to offer that to our clients and to other people that might want to come and try it out.
Would this be the only indoor equestrian facility around?
There's one at Meadowview over by Kent's Hill. They have an indoor. Manchester Equestrian has an indoor arena. Typically, it's hard to get a lot of boarders without one, because in Maine, there's literally 7 to 8 months a year collectively that you can't ride your horse unless you have one.
There's a few around, but I don't know if there's any.
So did you?
So one of Mount Vernon still there?
There's one in Fayette. Yeah,
So, believe, take my nephew, one in Wayne, is that
there may be one in Wayne, I don't know.
Blazing Styles? No.
There is one.
Yeah, like I was just there today. I think it's in the.
I can't.
Maybe, yeah, there's one in Walnut.
So you guys lived in the house that was when you owned the disc golf. Is that house where you live now, or if there's a new house there?
No, we don't, it's still our house.
Same house.
We don't live in it anymore.
I thought I saw another structure there.
No,
It's under construction, it's being renovated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And a manager or somebody who's gonna live there?
Yeah.
We're an assistant farm manager that we've hired that will live in the house, yeah.
Other questions? I would look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to find the application complete, notify butters, schedule a public hearing, and have a site visit.
Site visit?
You can pretty well see it back by.
I don't think so.
So,
Okay, so no site visit.
notify the butters. We do have, one question. Our neighbor across the, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
we'll finish this, then I'll
Yeah,
get right back to
no
you.
worries.
Okay, so, we have a motion to find the application complete.
Schedule a public hearing and notify butters.
Second.
Motion, second discussion. All those in favor?
No, that's okay, I'll just wait until. we
Yeah, I
get to
don't,
the
I
next-
think it's not a, it doesn't pertain right now to this.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much, and, Chip will get back to you. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is, well, the
We'll
regular,
let you know.
the regular schedule would be August 12th, but I think there's still a couple of uncertainties about our August schedule, so, Chip will get back to you.
There'll be a meeting in August at some point.
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
You will be put up front.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your
Thank you
time.
very much. We have two sets of minutes, June 11 and June 24th. We'll start with June 11th. Anyone have comments? The only thing I had really is a typo, a slip of the finger thing you might want to just fix. Public meeting, the first one, Hatch, 1, 2, 3. The fourth line down, it says structural changes or, yeah.
You don't want to try to find that. Oops.
Anything else from anyone?
Unfortunately, June's a bad month for me. What's going on, so I don't, somehow
He didn't review them.
didn't review.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Down. What goes?
Okay, and June 24th. And if there's nothing, I would take a motion for both, well, actually, no, we can't do that. Now, let's start with June 11th. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the meetings from June 11th.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Okay, and then June 24th. Motion to approve the minutes of June 24th.
I'll move to approve the minutes of June 24th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? So the schedule for August, thank you all for responding. I've got a handy little chart here with who is and is not available on those dates in August. I am still uncertain about my own schedule. We could move forward with the 12th, if you want to chair, Jack. I might not be here, I'm just not sure yet. Or, that's it? So I guess that's it.
There's some issue with the butter, maybe that's stormwater.
That's a town issue, it's not a planning board issue, and yes, and it probably has nothing to do with the domains, it has to do with the school. And the town has been reticent or will not address it, so it's not,
It's an existing,
it's an existing.
Drainage issue.
It's an existing drainage issue, it's been going on for years, I've tried to help out. It's not a planning board issue.
At least not until the butter shows up at the hearing.
She showed up at the Board of Appeals hearing, and I'm just laying it on you like it was laid on them.
So in your view, this proposal would not, doesn't have the potential to exacerbate that situation?
In my opinion, no, it does not. My opinion, somebody should be taking care of when we're running off the school. But that's not our job.
Any other applications coming up?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, well, tentatively, let's see. If I remember correctly, it was Dana and Dawn, you're not available on the 12th, is that? And Dawn, we're not either. Um, Well, we could say tentatively the 12th, that would be our regularly scheduled date. And I may or may not be here. So. All right.
If three of us are not available, do you have even close to a quorum?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It takes four,
Four, okay.
yeah, for a quorum, and there would be five. There would be five without me and six with me.
Could the domains get on the schedule for the 12th?
Yes, we'll be on so far.
Well, why don't we tentatively say there will be a meeting and we'll put the writing arena on for the 12th. And if that should have to change for any reason, if people's schedules change, we can get back and let everyone know. But tentatively, we'll say the 12th.
Just
John?
want to make note that we have to do the public hearing notices and whatnot 2 weeks before the meeting, so we just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If we do reschedule.
Okay, well, why don't we just say we'll move forward with the 12th and no one else has a change in schedule, right?
No, my only change is the 19th now has become a problem for me. Our town librarian wants me to do some kind of presentation at senior college.
As of now, we have nothing scheduled for the 19th.
Okay, all right, so I think there are plenty of members available for the 12th, so let's go ahead and plan on that, so you can do the notices. Just do it.
I mean, if you had an emergency, like I might be able to dial in just to make the number if somebody dropped out. I'll be in Chicago.
I think, I think it should be okay, even without me, there's five. So.
Okay.
Henry is available on the 12th. Or so he said. And actually, that was the only date that he could commit to. The 19th and the 26th, he was not available.
If you see an issue, then send me an email. I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, unless anyone has anything else. The only other thing I wanted to mention, I mentioned a while ago that I was trying to produce a new draft of the bylaws, the planning board bylaws, and I'm almost finished with that, but there really had been no time with melanoma consuming us through much of the summer, so. But I'm thinking that maybe for either a second meeting in August or the first in September, I'll have a draft that I can send out to everyone. Maybe we could spend some time talking about that. Anything else, anyone?
If I could,
Yeah.
I'd encourage everybody to keep your eye on what's coming through the state now in terms of affordable housing again. We've got very aggressive. I think it's been put on hold because it wasn't funded, but very aggressive and again, working their way into our autonomy on land use. Went through a lot with the last go around, worked through that. So just keep your eye open and see what's going on, what's coming. I'll provide you with it, whatever I get.
Well, there won't be, and I mean, they didn't pass anything in this session, or
They did, but it wasn't.
well,
funded,
it,
so-
it went to appropriations and there it sits, so if that's as good as not passing it. So. um, So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, we're adjourned. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.